Let me do that. All right, to respect everybody's time, we are going to get started. I am recording this, and this is going into our health group on Facebook, Simple Changes to Better Health. So I will put a plug in for that. If you are not in that Facebook group, you are going to want to ask the person that is sharing this with you, or that you're, invited you to this, to be in that group, because we have so many great different themes every single month. And one of the things we're going to be talking about that we do monthly is a Shred 10. So what I would love for you, I'm not going to be able to check the chat now, maybe Doug and Renee can, is if you guys have done a shred before, put in there whether you've done a shred before. But we're going to talk about this. And one of the things, first of all, I'm Karen Orlowski, and I live in Georgia. And I joined this community about 18 years ago. And I joined it not knowing the impact it was going to make on my life as far as my health and just personally for my family as well. I grew up and I was adopted. I had allergies, asthma, digestive issues, migraines, and that stayed with me until I was about 35 years old. And I started making simple changes. And 18 years later, I'm healthier at 53 than I was at 23. So I'm super excited to share all this with you. So the program that we want to talk about is called the Shred 10. And there's a lot of people that can get confused with the name Shred. And it really is just about shredding different bad habits and shredding different things that are not feeding into our health. So there are two startling trends in our world, and we want to share those with you. So number one is environmental toxins. And a lot of these we don't have control over, and some of them we do. We have control over sometimes, shampoos and toothpaste and deodorant and, hairspray and lotion and just different things we can put on. Foods that we're eating. 57% of the food that we're eating that Americans are eating is processed. And I challenge you to go take a look at some of the boxes and try and pronounce some of the ingredients. Those are toxins to our body. Our body doesn't understand that. And then there's a lot of toxins out there as soon as you go outside, or even sometimes inside the house, the air, the water. There's a lot of stuff we don't have control over. So that's one of the reasons we need to detox. And that's what the Shred is. How come this is not forwarding to me? There. And then food quality is decreasing. We talked about processed foods. 57% of people are eating processed foods, and our body doesn't understand that. So not only does it have preservatives and flavor enhancers and emulsifiers and things in there, but food quality is decreasing because of also travel time. If you take a look at the produce at the grocery store, take a look at the berries, and they might not be coming from Hamilton, New Jersey, which is one of the biggest berry producers in the country. They could be coming from Mexico or Chile. And think about how long ago those had to be picked. And then they're packaged, and then they're on a boat or, something to get over here. And that takes a long time. The food loses a lot of the nutrition and the phytochemicals in that transportation. So dieting or over exercising. I would love for you guys to put in the chat, and I will tell you that I am one of the people who has tried a fad diet. So, there has been everything from, the grapefruit diet, right? Like there's just so many fad diets out there that try and lose weight. And so our body, when you try and diet or over exercise, it's actually not good for your body. And that's kind of what causes the yo-yo dieting, where people will lose weight and then they gain it back. And they get frustrated because they think they're doing something wrong. And a lot of times, often what we're doing wrong is we're not eating the right foods. We're not feeding our body the nutrition that it needs to actually lose the fat and shed the toxins. So because of all the toxins that we're either eating or putting on us, or that are in the environment that we don't have control over, our body is really super smart. That the way that they can control that when it gets in our body is the fat cells actually kind of engulf the toxins to protect our organs and our body. And so that sounds great. It's a great process, except when they do that, the fat cells get bigger and we're gaining weight. And there's over 20 diseases that are actually correlated when you are overweight. It's like the number one thing of what's causing disease. So Then people yo-yo diet, right? Like we, are only eating this, or we're only eating meats and we're eating no carbs. We do all these crazy diets, and we might lose weight for a little bit, but that's not sustainable. So then we go back to eating like we used to eat, and then we've still got all the toxins in our body. And when we do all that, that actually stresses out our body. Sometimes we over-exercise. And what happens when that stress is then the toxins are released from the fat cells. So we lose the weight. But then what happens is your body like recognizes the toxins in your, throughout your body again. And it says, oh my gosh, I need to protect the organs in the body. So in an effort, it engulfs the toxins again, and then the fat cells get bigger again. So that's why that yo-yo dieting. So as opposed to the nutritional support that the Shred10 is going to give us, where with the clean eating system that we've got, shredding a lot, we'll go over all the different things that we're going to do, but shredding some of the bad habits, shredding the toxins, shredding some of the bad foods that we're eating, and adding in some of the foods that we should be eating more of, we're going to be reducing the toxins, which is going to reduce the fat cells, and we're going to get to a healthy weight. And then there's some people, I know I have actually had customers who say, oh, I don't want to shred, I'm too thin, I actually need to gain weight. And the body is actually a beautiful thing. When you give the right food, it will actually kind of balance itself, and somebody can actually gain weight eating healthy food because it's looking for the right kind of foods to sustain and to be healthy. So one of the things we can do, a great option is growing our own food, is the tower garden. I don't know how many of you guys have a tower garden. I have 2 of them. I have one of each of those, which I love. The tower garden home is usually in my office. The tower garden flex is outside. And it's a great way to grow your own. It's organic, it's vine ripened. It doesn't get any closer to, you go outside and you just pick off the fruits and the vegetables, and it just, the taste of it's amazing. There is actual research showing that it grows 30% faster. University of Mississippi, it uses 90% less water, or 98% less water, and it only takes up it's about 5 feet high and about 2.5 feet around, and you're able to grow up to 28 different plants in that. So as opposed to a traditional garden, which are enormous. So if you're interested in the tower garden, let the person know that invited you onto here, and we can share more information. A great way to flood your body and help a detox is to flood your body with nutrition from foods and plants and fruits and vegetables and whole grains. And most of us find it very difficult to get enough into our day. And the USDA says that about 93% of Americans are not eating enough fruits and vegetables to not only keep us healthy, but prevent disease. Kids are supposed to get 7, women are supposed to get 9, and men are supposed to get 13. So I don't know how many of you are doing that every single day. It's a win for me when I can do it a couple of days a week, but most days I'm either busy or, I'm just not getting that in. So Juice Plus is a fantastic way to help bridge the gap. This does not eliminate all the plants that you're supposed to be eating, but this is going to help you bridge the gap between what you're eating every single day and what you should be eating every single day. And this is a great way to also, because it's flooding your body with all that nutrition, it helps to detox your body from the toxins in there, from everything else that we're eating. The Juice Plus Omega blend, I could do a whole Zoom about this because I just love it. So it's an omega blend and it's plant-based. I know a lot of people get so excited about that because we think we need fish oil, and the omegas are not naturally occurring in fish. Everybody's eating salmon. We're killing the poor fish and eating this fish oil and getting fish burps, and we don't have to. So the Juice Plus Omega blend, actually where the fish get their omega-3s and why we eat the fish is because of what they eat in the ocean. So they eat the algae, and we actually have our own algae farms in Hawaii that we farm from, and that's where we get the algal oil. Excuse me. And then, but it's an omega blend with an omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 for heart, brain, joint, skin, and eye health. And it's 100% plants, which is amazing. So all of our Juice Plus products have research. This is an older slide. We actually have over 40 clinical research studies published in medical journals. You're known by the company you keep. One of our doctors said that one time. And when you have universities like MD Anderson Cancer Institute and University of Florida, and some of these universities that have participated in the research with Juice Plus, and it's published into really prestigious medical journals, and the research is done on people. It's not just done in a lab. That's why a lot of doctors and people are recommending Juice Plus for sure. And we can share more of the research studies with you. I wanted to keep this very short. This is really kind of just touching a little bit on the products. We have a lot more information. If you guys have more questions about Juice Plus, we can answer that at the end. And we also have other Zoom events and videos that we can share with you too. So glycemic index, this is something that I learned about. And you hear that if you eat sugar, you have a lot of energy and you feel great for a little bit and then you crash. So that's associated with the glycemic index. So you'll see the spiked line, the one that goes way up and then it comes down. That's a high glycemic food. So when you're eating the wrong carbs, there's right and wrong carbs. When you're eating the right carbs, you have a low glycemic food. And that's through a lot of healthy grains. You can eat quinoa and brown rice, and it's not going to give you that high glycemic, that high. But when you're eating sugar and you're eating the white breads and you're eating some, you're drinking soda, you're eating some of these foods with high glycemic index, that's when you get that spike and then you crash. And it also causes the toxins in your body too. So what we want is more low glycemic food, because a lot of people think they don't have willpower because they're eating high glycemic. They're like this, it's like this, and then you're hungry again also, not just with the energy. When you have low energy, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm tired, if I didn't have a good night's rest, I actually notice that I am craving more sweets, more carbs, more unhealthy food, because I'm looking for that spike of energy to keep me going throughout the day. But then all I'm doing is this, it's a roller coaster all day long. So I have recognized that and I try to control it the best that I can. So what we need is low glycemic foods, because what's going to happen is it goes up to here and then it goes across. And so your body has enough of the stable energy, and it also is going to keep you full longer, so you have the willpower. So one of the best foods for this, and one of the best answers for me, every single day, I have 1 to 2 shakes a day. My daughter wakes up and that's her breakfast every single day. She does volleyball. She takes shakes to volleyball. So the Complete by Juice Plus actually can be used as a meal replacement, and it is really critical in the Shred10 program, because sometimes we're looking for, oh my gosh, I'm hungry, but what can I eat? Sometimes, especially when people haven't done the Shred before, you're wondering, what can I eat that's going to be Shred approved? Well, the Juice Plus Complete. So you can replace it, you can replace a meal, you can replace breakfast. That's what I do. You can use it as a healthy snack throughout the day. So instead of in the mid-afternoon, maybe you have lunch and you eat dinner at, 6 o'clock, you want to, or before 6 o'clock, we'll talk about that. You get a little hungry, have a complete shake. You can make these. We have over like 200 recipes in our Facebook group, and things like, a Reese's cup and almond joy, snickerdoodle, things that taste like they're a dessert, but they're ridiculously healthy. So it's low glycemic. It actually has the same glycemic index as broccoli. So how fantastic is that? Fantastic is that? It's vegan, it's gluten-free, it's plant-based, it's powerful. There's 13 grams of protein and there's 8 grams of fiber. So it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. The Perform by Juice Plus is brand new. It came out in December. This is a little bit different than, and I actually mix this with the chocolate, but this is a little bit different than the Complete. It's not necessarily a meal replacement, but what it's going to help give you is a lot of different plant proteins, because sometimes, especially people, if you're trying to cut back on animal protein in the program, or for vegans or vegetarians, this is a great healthy source of plant protein. It has naturally occurring B vitamins, which are great for energy. It's only 6 grams of sugar, vegan, gluten-free, non-dairy, non-GMO. It tastes like, somebody has said before, it tastes like the strawberry quick when you mix it in. And again, I mix it with the chocolate because I actually really like the taste, and I like the nutritional benefits that I get from both at the same time. And that is actually it was made for post-workout, and it's for muscle recovery, muscle growth. It is for energy. It's for bone health. It's for a lot of different things as well. So let's go over the Shred guidelines. We're adding in things, so it's not just about shredding and eliminating. So we're adding in more plant foods and the Juice Plus capsules every single day. So eating as many fruits and vegetables as you can. And then taking your Juice Plus capsules every day, at least the fruits and the vegetables. We always recommend the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries. If you can add in the omegas as well, that's fantastic. The more Juice Plus that you add in and the more plants, the better the detox that your body's going to go through. 1 to 2 of the complete shakes a day. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a shake. There's people that actually make a smoothie bowl. There's people that make, they use it with some gluten-free and they make pancakes. We do pudding. So there you can make really good complete balls. There's so many different things you can do with these shakes to help you through, whether it's a, you're having a sugar craving or whatever, or just to help you with a healthy snack. It's a fantastic answer. Drinking enough water every single day, half of your body weight, taking 10 deep breaths and getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep daily. I have a really tough time with that. I would love for you guys, while you're looking at this, to put in the chat, because this is what I'm interested in talking about at the end. Which one of these do you look at and say, oh no, I don't know if I can do that, or I don't know if I can handle that one during the shred. I actually have people who won't do the shred because they can't eliminate something. So we've gotten a little bit where we want to say we can reduce or eliminate, because we want people to try this. So, reducing or eliminating caffeine and alcohol. Sometimes when our body goes through a detox, you're not going to feel good and you're going to want to give up. So that happens a lot with caffeine. A lot of people, if you drink coffee, I'm going to tell you the great thing with the shred and the great thing with our community is we have a lot of people that have found ways to be able to work this in. There's people that drink coffee and actually add the complete in it, and they kind of make a mocha drink. And they, instead of drinking, a couple of cups of coffee a day, maybe they do 1 cup of coffee a day. So there's different things we can do. If you can eliminate caffeine altogether and you can make it through the 10 days, then why go back? You've made it through that detox process. But if you're getting the headaches and you're working, you're finding it tough to make it through, then, have a little bit of the caffeine if you need that. So eating after 6 p.m. So I will tell you that that's really hard for us sometimes. I have a daughter in volleyball. We're out and we're going. So what you need to look at, it's great if you can stop by 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Dr. Mitra Ray actually says your body needs at least 12 hours of rest. Your digestive system needs 12 hours of rest. So let's say you're not eating until 8 p.m. and you're like, oh, I can never do the shred because I can't do that. You know what? Go until at least 8 a.m. the next day. And if you go a little bit longer, like 14 hours until 10 a.m., that's even better. So I know that eating, after 6 p.m. is tough for some people. Gluten and dairy. So those cause inflammation. Gluten and dairy both cause inflammation. That's one of the reasons we eliminate. And I know that's a tough one for some people. And I would suggest if you need to, if you're you're a pasta person or you're a bread person and that's a big part of your diet, and you want to still include that, you can buy gluten-free pastas. You can buy gluten-free, try and do the healthier ones. There's pastas made with edamame. There's pastas made with chickpea. So try and find a healthier substitute. I don't know that I would necessarily go for a vegan cheese because that's still a processed food. We're trying to eliminate, number 8, I skipped over, is processed foods. That's a hard one for me. I totally skipped over that one because I have 2 kids. And guess what? There's always like pretzels sitting out or something. And I always go and I just reach for like a handful thinking, oh, this isn't a big deal. I'm not sitting in front of the TV with a bag, but I'm always doing little snacks. So, a lot of the gluten-free stuff and the dairy-free, the vegan stuff, it's still processed. And then artificial and refined sugars. That's my fail. I'm not going to lie. Like I just have a tough time. I have a sweet tooth. I don't do a lot of the other things, but sugars is my tough one for sure. Okay. So what are some of the common results? Why do we keep doing this over and over and over again? And why do people, even after the 10 days, do this? So what I have found, my shred, I will also share with you that we look for progress and not perfection, guys. So please don't think that if you can't do all of those, that you can't join us. If you say, you know what, I can do 5 of those and it's your first time, that's a win. I mean, that's fantastic. So do that, because maybe if this one's for June, maybe in July or in August, you say, you know what, I'm going to try and add in a 6th one. And so it's all about progress, not perfection. Do the best that you can do, because even with trying to do 5 of those, you're going to feel a little bit different. You may not feel as good as if you had done it all the way, but you will definitely feel a difference. So I will tell you, for me, that I have never done a shred 100%. I'm just calling it out. I just haven't. I do it really about 90% most of the time, because usually there's a time where I have realized unconsciously I grab a handful of pretzels and I go, oh my gosh, I'm shredding, or I grab something, whatever. So it just is what it is. And then you just start over the next day. And let's say you can't, and let's say you really want to be true to this and you kind of do a little bit of cheat. Sometimes people have birthdays, just add a day or two on at the end. But you're going to crave more fruits and vegetables, a healthier weight. I will tell you that by day 3, so the first 2 days for me, I'd love to hear, we've got a couple of people telling stories. The first couple of days for me are the hardest, because a lot of foods that you're eating, think about this, it's a habit, right? Like I automatically go in and I think it's just a habit for me to grab this food. It's easy for me to grab these foods. So, but by day 3, if you can make it that far, your cravings, my cravings anyway, are starting to change. And I'm not craving the sugars as much. I'm not bloated because I'm not eating the gluten. So I've noticed that over the years of doing this shred, that now I see the triggers with my health and what fuels my health and what, doesn't fuel my health. And so really I kind of shred, it's kind of a shred like throughout the month. And then maybe on the weekends, and maybe if we're going over a neighbor's and it's a holiday and things like that, I don't worry about it. I don't say, oh, I can't have that. That has dairy. Oh, I can't have sugar. I certainly do. But I've noticed that I just feel so much better when I include shred like throughout the month in my life. Oops, there we go. Okay, so where do you see yourself getting started? We definitely hope you get started with us. All of the accountability, all of the motivation, everything is going to be in that group. So we're going to be posting every single day for you. And we're going to also be posting things like, why are you supposed to drink more water? Why are we eliminating dairy and gluten? Why are we eliminating alcohol and caffeine? So you want to kind of learn, what the why is behind this. But then really the important part of this, because we can't get enough fruits and vegetables into our diet every day, is the Juice Plus. That's really what's flooding our body and helping to detox. And I will tell you, I have done a cleanse. I don't know if any of you guys have done cleanses, but I've done the master cleanse and I've done it a couple of times, and that is hard. This is a detox that is kind of like a cleanse, but it's a whole food cleanse. It's with nutritional support. We're there to support you. You're eating healthy foods. You don't have to not eat for 12 days just to do a detox. You can actually detox your body through eating healthy foods. So we have the basic package. I don't know why they don't have the fruits and the veggie package up there, but I recommend as a minimum really for people, the trio, which is the middle one. And that's the fruits, the veggies, and the berries. And then the shakes. You're going to be drinking 1 to 2 shakes every single day. So any of the packages work. And soft chewables are also available. We do have, I will throw in here that, if you're a parent and you have a kid, it's safe for kids to do. It's safe for pregnant women to do. Anybody can do this because it's about eating healthy foods. It's about eating the foods that we're supposed to be eating and eliminating the foods and the toxins and doing the things we're not supposed to be. So we do have a family health study. I don't have a slide for this. We do have a family health study where if an adult gets started with Juice Plus, you can actually sponsor your child ages 4 through 18 and undergrad, full-time undergrad college, where they can get Juice Plus for free. So again, any more, detailed questions, go back to the person that invited you to here. And now is when I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So we hope that you shred with us the food, the toxins, the habits that are not serving you and your health. Let me stop sharing really quickly. And then I'm going to invite Doug to share his story. I love that we're going to, like men, get your husbands to shred with you, ladies.
All right. I'm going to spotlight myself. Did that work? Yes, it did. All right. Well, man, that was awesome. I'm really excited to get going on the shred again. And Karen, my struggle isn't in the beginning of the shred. I find it easy in the beginning because I'm excited and I'm really pumped up for it. But then after like that first weekend, those last 3 days, if it's going to get hard, it's going to get hard then. But you know what? My mom, I was telling somebody in the chat, my mom has done, I think, 10 shreds in a row with no break. And she really used that as a big part of getting healthier and healthier. So I'm going to share her story a little bit because I know there's somebody in here that had a shake experience with something else, and I don't know if that person has diabetes or not, but my mom's a type 2 diabetic. She shred over and over and over. And there was a point where she really missed having fruit and she couldn't have fruit because of her diabetes. She was on medication and always checking herself. And then she started shredding and she was doing 2 shakes a day. Then she started, and she was taking Juice Plus. Then she started taking double Juice Plus. She even now she takes triple Juice Plus because she's noticed that with triple Juice Plus and the shakes and doing the shred over and over, that the doctor kept lowering her medication for diabetes to the point where they no longer give her medication and she can eat fruit. So she loves the shred. She's a huge fan. I don't know what happened to me. I mean, they used to call me the Shred King. They gave me a crown once at our conference. And but I got away from it and I was doing really good until COVID hit. Well, COVID hit and I was doing great during the pandemic, but then I got COVID. And since then I've been really fatigued and I moved to Jacksonville and Ariane's moving up near me soon, but this is Ariane. It's not as healthy food as South Florida up here. It's like all barbecued and fried catfish and stuff. And it's tough. And so I've put on a little weight and I'm not feeling as good as I used to feel. So I'm excited to start the shred because for me, it's been a way to kind of relearn the way to eat like a really healthy person. And it really does make an impact on your life, especially if you shred for just 10 days. And come on, you guys, I mean, you can do anything for 10 days if you think about it. So just put your mind to it and shred. There's a group of us, we're sharing recipes. It's kind of fun. And then after those 10 days, the rest of the month, don't go crazy or anything, but then the next month, do another shred, then another one the next month. And if that's just kind of a rhythm you have in your life where you're resetting and learning these new healthy habits and maybe walking away from some not so healthy habits, I promise you it's going to make an impact on your health. So I hope that helps some people get excited and inspired for the shred. I know I'm excited. I've been here and done it, and I'm still excited to start it again. So thanks for letting me share.
I love that. Okay, Beth, are you still here?
I am. Hi, Karen. Thank you for asking me to share. Yeah, do you want me to take Doug off of Spotlight or does he do that? Anyway, okay, I'll just start sharing. So I actually had done the shred. I started doing the shred about, gosh, 4-ish years ago, I guess. And whoa, did you hear that? There was lightning and thunder. Sorry, that really scared me. Okay, so I started doing the shred about 4, and I was like you, Karen, where it's like, I got so, like I never did it perfectly. And the one thing I have always lived by over the last 30 years or so has been progress, not perfection. And I think you said those words exactly, Karen. And that's what I love about this program is because there's nothing you have to do 100%. You do the best you can. And what happens is then for me, what happened is my habits became regular habits. So I used to always eat meat and, like a zone type of a diet where it was like meat and carb and, fat or whatever. And now I don't have to have a meat or something like that in my meal. And it's helped me this way because it doesn't matter if I do or I don't. This just gives me some new ideas of how to eat. And I feel so much better. And when I first did the shred, I lost about, I think 10 pounds over like the first 3 shreds. I won't say that was not one shred, but it was over 3 shreds or so. And I went to the doctor and she looked at my blood work and she goes, "Oh my gosh, Beth, your blood work is gorgeous." Like, how nice for you to hear your blood work's gorgeous. But, that's through everything. And I was also a little nervous about like the dairy and the gluten, because those 2 things, I really had a lot of that in my diet. And I really, honestly, that first shred, I was like, oh my gosh, I am not sure I can do this. And I did it. It was like really one day at a time. And I think, Karen, you mentioned that too, about like just starting over every day. I find myself starting over sometimes in the middle of the day. Like if I'm like, oh shoot, I ate those pretzels, for example, then I just start over then. The whole day doesn't need to be a bust. And it used to be that way for me. Oh, it's Thursday, I screwed up my diet, I'll be back on Monday. Well, this is like a lifestyle for me. And I feel like not only is it about weight loss for me, but it's also just about feeling better, having more energy. Literally the bloat goes away really quickly, and just being able to incorporate this healthy lifestyle. So all of that together. And I too, like Doug, have not done the shred as regularly over the last year or so. And I'm super excited because this past month has just been very stressful. So I have a senior graduating high school on Friday. And so it's just like, where I am, Karen. So it's like, I literally have been not just focused on what I need to do, but so I'm now excited to, and I think Doug wrote in the chat, like I may pre-shred. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So starting it out next week. But it's all, the great news is it doesn't have to be perfect, and you will notice changes. I notice changes, and that's all I have to share. Thanks.
Oh, I love that. Thanks, you guys. And you know what? We need to do this for ourselves, because honestly, if you've got a family and you don't feel good, it comes across. I know when I'm eating too much sugar, I'm cranky, so, and if I'm tired. So it really is just going to make a difference, I think, overall. The other thing we want to encourage you too is that, let's say that you are looking at this program and I'm all in, I'm so excited for this. Think about your friends and family who might benefit from this also. I mean, there really isn't anybody that can't benefit from this. But honestly, think about friends and family and who could do this with you, because our community is awesome and that Facebook group is awesome. Okay. But we can't really hold you accountable. But if you have a close friend or a neighbor and you say, hey, we're going to do this together, you're much more likely to do it and you're going to succeed. So, talk to them, invite them. I'm going to share this recording. You can, share this with them. And we would love to talk to them. We're happy to, answer any questions. So I am going to stop the recording, see if anybody has any questions. And I am super excited. I've been kind of like pre-shredding this week just to kind of prepare as well, because then I find it easier. I find it easier to kind of pre-shred and start giving up some of that stuff a little bit, as opposed to going, oh my gosh, I got to give up this stuff. I'm going to eat a cake and I'm going to eat pie, because then it just makes it even harder. So, but that's me. And then some people like Renee don't eat sugar, so it's not a problem for her. All right, let me stop the recording.